guys. I had a couple questions online about some of the straps that I've been talking about when I wear my dive watch or any of my other watches while climbing, swimming, fishing, whatever. And I thought I'd just show you a couple of my favorites. Um, so you have your single pass strap, like this Bond NATO. Um, Single passes are okay. They're designed to go through. I don't have one with me. They're designed to go through your spring bars, and it's an okay setup because you still have the coverage afforded if one of the spring bars blows, so the other one will potentially catch the watch. Um, I find that single passes tend to put a lot of stress on the spring bars, so you're more likely to have spring bars pop out. Um, Whereas the double pass, for whatever reason, they don't seem to be quite as prone to popping spring bars. And so I find myself wearing a lot more of the double pass straps. Some people don't like them because they tend to uh, add a couple more millimeters to the back of the watch, so it sits a little higher off your wrist, which is definitely true, but it does make for a very comfortable wearing watch, and you just have to play with them until you get them comfortable enough for you. I actually have one on a little Casio knockoff, a Skimmy, which is a Chinese brand. But there you have an example of a double pass, and they don't seem to put as much stress on the spring bars, but that could just be my imagination. If nothing else, I just think they're more comfortable, especially these seatbelt straps from Toxic NATOs. I'm not sponsored by them, I just own a bunch of their straps. I also own a couple of his rubber straps. If you're familiar with Scurfa watches, this is a Scurfa rubber or a silicone strap that Toxic NATOs does for his watches. And rubber straps are great. You want to make sure that if you get a rubber strap or silicone strap, that it's pliable, flexible, because that will reduce the amount of stress that your spring bar experiences. And so if you're one of those people that flexes your wrist a whole lot or you get snagged on things, you want it to be more pliable. Um, that's why the old Marine Nationale style with the elastic bands are great. Although I do find that when you do snag them, you may be in for a shocker when the thing snaps back and hits you. But the Marine Nationale style straps are very, very comfortable. You do have to remove the spring bars to use these, but it's super comfortable. And then the last strap that I wanted to show you is one of my own creations, which I kind of borrowed from Luminox. So the Luminox watches usually come on this nylon number. They have Velcro, little buckle, but they have little tabs here, or loops, that go around your spring bars. So you actually have to remove the spring bars on your watch, and then you put the spring bar through, and then you do it like a normal strap. But the cool part is there's enough give or slack in those little loops that you don't stress those spring bars hardly ever. And it tends to be very comfortable. You can see my stitching is a little rough here. This was just for me. I wasn't ever going to sell it to anybody. And, a little bit of Velcro there. So super durable. This is probably what I think of when people are like, well, I want the most durable strap I can get. This is what I would turn people onto. Like I said, Luminox sells one. There's a couple other guys online that make like Moonwatch straps, which is pretty similar. And you can't go wrong. And last is the isofrane style. So this is one of Toxic NATO's, his own version of a isofrane. Really durable. They're nice silicone straps. They do tend to trap moisture inside of where the spring bar passes through. So make sure you buy high quality spring bars, otherwise you're going to find yourself rusting out your spring bars, and then you won't be able to change the straps, or when you do, you're just going to break a spring bar and then you got to go put another one anyways. So anyways, there's a couple of my thoughts on straps. Bracelets are great, you know, but it's still one of those, if you snap a spring bar, then that watch is sinking to the bottom of the ocean, the lake, the river, wherever you are. So nylon, I think, is preferable if you're a serious diver. Rubber's good, but once again, you break a spring bar, you're going to lose that watch. So that's my 2 cents. If you do want to wear a bracelet, make sure that it has either solid end links or it's very, very tight in between the lugs. That way you don't have a lot of stress on those spring bars. That's kind of the key. Don't stress the spring bars and the watch won't fall off. By the way, I got this watch back from Toxic NATOs. They do a servicing, and which actually worked out, because when I made my last video, I told you guys that I was going to have the watch serviced, and then I had it in my dock kit. My beard oil got all over the inside of the movement, and so it would still tick away, tell time, but you couldn't set the time because the keyless works got all gummed up. So anyways, I got the watch back. It was running great. One issue that the ETA 2824 movements have is that if you don't reset your stem just right, and I've messed up a bunch of these on watches that I've built, then your crown and stem will just pull all the way out, and the watch will still just keep ticking away, and you're left holding this stem and crown. So anyways, I called up the guys over at Toxic NATOs. They said no problem. They'd already completely disassembled the watch or the movement before and cleaned it, and they contacted me and they're like, hey, these movements are only about $200. So we're already in past the value of the watch movement. Would you mind if we just put a brand new Elaboré ETA 2824 movement in replacement in your Doxa? And I had no problem with that. It's a tool watch. It's not like it's a Rolex movement where the movement's going to be valuable in another 50 years. So I just had them swap the movement out. It keeps excellent time now, and still have that 38 to 40 hours of power reserve. And they also test the waterproofness of the watch at their shop to 200 meters, I believe. And I couldn't be happier with it. The Doxas are a great watch. I know I made a whole video where I sang its praises. If you want a tool watch that is still a tool watch, and you can beat it up, you can dress it up, Doxa is a great watch to have. Can't say enough nice things. So anyways, if you get a chance, if you want some straps, check out Toxic NATOs. Their seatbelt straps are just so comfortable. I think he calls those his Shiznit straps. Otherwise, there's a bunch of brands out there. Look up Marine Nationale straps if you want something a little bit different. These look really killer on a Submariner, especially the Tudor Submariners, which the Marine Nationale originally put these on. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, hit me up on the messages and I will be happy to answer your questions. Y'all take care. Bye.